Here are the craziest and scariest Paw Patrol theories. You have a little nephew who is crazy about Paw Patrol. Yesterday, during a family dinner, while he was talking to you passionately about this famous Paw Patrol which makes all his happiness, you decide to ask him a trick question. Even if he is very knowledgeable about Paw Patrol, you were convinced that he would not be able to answer your question. So, you ask him with an amused look if he knew that there was a puppy missing from the patrol. He first looks at you with a dumbfounded look and answers that he doesn't. You tell him that in Season 1, Episode 12, Rubble appeared as the last of the 6 puppies on the patrol, whose truck had number 6. Zuma drives number 7, which means that the construction truck had a driver before Zuma took over the hovercraft. No one knows who this puppy was, why he was never mentioned again. Why did he disappear? Was it in a fight or on a mission? Did he die? In which case, it's horrible to accept for 5-year-old children. Some people think that Zuma was responsible for the construction before he changed roles, but nothing is certain. Your nephew looks shocked and you already regret having taught him this. Change the subject quickly and distract him. Next time, you'll learn to weigh your words with Paw Patrol fans. They are not to be trifled with. You watch Paw Patrol very often, even if you are old enough to get married, but shh, we won't tell anyone. It's a secret. However, have you ever wondered why Ryder, despite being a little boy, was the leader of a Paw Patrol and especially why he didn't have parents? We may have the answer, but I warn you, it won't be pretty. Rumors and conspiracy theories say that Ryder has no parents, that his mother lives with 25 dogs, and that his father committed suicide. In fact, it is to try to find happiness that he tries to forget his sorrow by taking the responsibility of the Paw Patrol. Other more down-to-earth theories think that Ryder's parents are around, but that they don't intervene to keep the kids' attention on him. But from there, to not telling him to go to school, change his clothes, and do his homework, we would be more tempted to believe the first theory. Although, I'm sure it would break your heart as much as it did ours. Well, enough speculation. You could put your episode back on. We won't bother you again. Although, I'm sure this question is bothering you now, and you won't rest until you have a definite answer. Now you know Paw Patrol at your fingertips, but you still don't know why in the cartoon dogs are the only animals that talk. Here's an amazing theory that will surprise you a lot. The puppies of the patrol are not in fact dogs, but humans trapped in the bodies of dogs. They were, according to rumors, just 7 stray puppies, seeking refuge in a facility on a stormy night, who met a madman named Ryder, who lured them in and trapped them. Then, using scientific machines and concoctions, he swapped their brains with those of children he had previously trapped, causing the puppies to gain the ability to speak like children. Are you shocked? You don't have to believe in these absurd theories. You won't see Patrol in the same way anymore. You've seen Batman the movie where the prodigious Bruce Wayne plays the hero. After watching Paw Patrol as well, didn't you notice something strange? Get ready to hear an incredible theory. Ryder is said to be the embodiment of Batman, and here are the arguments that connect the two. Ryder has no parents. He has a cat, Catty, just like Batman has Catwoman. He also loves expensive gadgets like him. He wants to right wrongs and injustices. They both live in a kind of basement, and both have superpowers. Add to that the fact that his archenemy is Humdinger, who is dressed like the Joker, and whose name is a term often used for a joke? It's creepy, isn't it? Well, now you know that Ryder doesn't just have a dog, but a cat too. You are sitting next to your child while watching an episode of Paw Patrol, and you are suddenly very thirsty. You kindly ask your child to bring you a bottle of water from the refrigerator, but your child does not respond. You repeat your request, this time raising your voice, but your toddler still doesn't seem to respond. His mouth is wide open, and his eyes are staring blankly at the television. Don't be surprised. Paw Patrol has done everything to achieve this result. Hypnotize your child. And it's really very well studied. Everything is done like an algorithm. First, there are the catchy credits, the cult lines, the ritual of calling the dogs, and it's always around the 4th minute that Ryder comes out with his plan. In short, Theories say that it's so that in the end your child will ask you to buy the toys. Whew, that makes sense. So now that you know your child won't take off from the TV and you'll die of thirst if you don't move, get up and go help yourself. Now you know that your number one enemy is an 8-year-old and a bunch of imaginary puppies. You're a strong supporter of women's issues and you want to bring the voice of women across borders. Well, you can't count on the cartoon Paw Patrol to support you. The reason is obvious to everyone. Stella is the only female character in Puppy Patrol. Some will argue that there is still the little Everest who sometimes invites herself into the brigade, but her appearances remain rare, and she is not officially part of the patrol anyway. This suggests that the puppies and their leader Ryder might be sexist or even misogynistic. They probably think that females are not capable of carrying out their missions because they are physically less strong than males. But all this is obviously false. It is even outrageous. The worst is that a new puppy came a little later in a recent season, and again, it's not a female, but a male. Tracker. It makes you angry, I know. But calm down. The directors of the movie Paw Patrol have made up for this mistake by featuring the character of Liberty, which is not negligible. So you decide to write to the production to inform them of your dissatisfaction? Yes, why not? The cartoon will at least have served to make you react. If you've always had a lot of affection for the character Ryder from Paw Patrol, I'm going to tell you a good one about him. But I warn you, it will literally change the image you had of him. We all know that Ryder is very rich. That's why he has so much equipment for the patrol. What you didn't know is that he's also a big con man. Yes, you heard the word crook right. According to some theories, Ryder charges Adventure Bay huge amounts of money to supposedly feed the Paw Patrol and keep Adventure Bay safe. But in reality, he keeps the money for himself and his private interests, which are to buy cars and high-tech gadgets. By the way, don't you think it's strange that he pays his employees in food and dog treats when normally, since they are endowed with reason and act like men, they are entitled to a salary? Your image of Ryder is ruined, I know. But now you know that there is nothing innocent about this kid and that he masquerades his scams with so-called rescue missions. You talk about a hero. You turn on your TV because tonight is the new season of Koh-Lanta and you don't want to miss it for anything. But your little cousin has crashed the receiver and the channel is set to Nickelodeon. You can't change it. You are furious, and after spending your rage on the remote, you accept your fate and decide to watch an episode of Paw Patrol. While you're at it, if the kids love this cartoon, there must be a reason. But wait until I tell you something surprising about this famous patrol. While you may see adorable little puppies in front of your eyes with their costumes and brave rescue spirit, the truth would be quite different. In reality, the Paw Patrol are devious and evil and have the goal of conquering the world and ruling it as their masters. Some theories say that these seemingly harmless puppies actually took over the planet thousands of years ago and that Ryder is not their leader, but only an intermediary. Moreover, only puppies are gifted with speech. Unlike other animals, they know how to drive vehicles, have a critical mind, and an analytical mind. As for the humans, they almost all seem to have been lobotomized. We are referring especially to Captain Turbo, who is completely incompetent and unable to do anything without generating disasters, and who collects blunders. I know that 5 minutes of Paw Patrol was enough to stuff you. But now you know that the cartoons your little cousin is watching might not be very healthy. Have you ever watched an episode or two of Paw Patrol for a few minutes with your little brother and within the first few minutes you were struck by something strange? This cartoon is very minimalist as far as the number of characters is concerned. You wonder why? Good question. It is the reason for a rather crazy theory about the cartoon. You will be shocked. Some people think that the city is relatively empty because a terrible fire devastated it and killed 90% of the population. Hence this famous patrol that decides to go into rescue to ensure the safety of the few people left. That's probably why Mayor Hollinger has no sense of reason and has decreed that no human will be in charge of the emergency services and that Mayor Goodway has been living with her chicken Gallinetta since her husband died in the fire. Yes, this theory seems so absurd that your cheeks hurt from laughing so hard. But it's also a theory that makes sense, don't you think? If you don't believe it, go watch another episode of Paw Patrol and you'll see that this theory holds up well. You are watching an episode of Paw Patrol with your little sister, and while she is staring at the screen, you are bored to death. So you let your imagination run wild and ask yourself, what if everything you see in this cartoon is just a product of Ryder's imagination? Then listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. This question is exactly the same one that many people have asked themselves. Many believe that since the cartoon is riddled with inconsistencies, there is no way that any of this could exist in a real world. Dogs that talk to aliens, dragons, mermaid dogs, or dinosaurs appearing? Theories that go along with this claim that Ryder had an accident and is currently in a coma. And since they can't bring him out of it and are afraid his mind will give out, they have hooked him up to a computer that sends signals to his brain to keep it stimulated. They also don't want him to remember his old life, which is why, among other things, children don't have parents and people don't get hurt. Yes, I know. It changes everything from what you were doing as an opinion on the cartoon. It's sadder than you thought. Now you know that sometimes you have to be analytical and not just see what you are given to see. Now tell us in the comments what you think about all these theories about Paw Patrol. And don't forget to subscribe and click here to watch another of our videos.